Now, the director of one of the UK's biggest heavy metal festivals has taken a step back from her role. Translation, she was cancelled after coming under fire for a tweet bemoaning pronouns. Now, so this is Bloodstock's Vicky Hungerford, and she was criticised after sharing her annoyance at people who put their preferred pronouns on their email signatures. The tweet read, "If you're going to start putting pronouns on your emails so I can refer to you as he, him, she or her, I'm binning your emails." Vicky subsequently deleted her post and said that she was genuinely upset that she caused distress to the LGBTQ community. Bloodstock Festival also apologised and confirmed that the festival director would step back to, quote, properly educate herself over her uninformed comments. But I think that this director of the festival said the exact correct thing. Because, Esther Kraku, I'm going to be honest with you. When I get an email, if the signature has the pronouns on, I immediately shudder and judge the person. Am I wrong?
I have been very fortunate to not have received an email like that, but I would probably do the same. It's incredible what people get cancelled for that I feel like I would get away with tweeting, because that sounds like something I would tweet.
You're uncancelable, Esther.
I'm uncancelable. I just do not care enough to be cancelled. It's so funny. It's like a sport for me.
But Benjamin Butterworth, why is she not allowed to make a judgment about people who put their pronouns at the end of an email? It's annoying. You don't need to tell me what your gender is. I'm not going to judge you based on your gender. Don't tell me.
I mean, you know, gender is something that we use in our routine language, whether it's emails or how we address people. There are also the English language is built in that way. And I actually think what she said is quite problematic because she's basically saying, because some of the people that are most likely to include their pronouns in the sign-off of emails are people who are transgender. And she's saying, oh, I'll bin their emails immediately. You know, the idea, and I think this ought to strike a tone with you, the idea that maybe because someone takes particular political view which has led them to put their pronouns in there, that they would therefore refuse to engage with them or refuse to respond to their thoughts and their emails or their business ideas, I think is completely wrong. And actually, it's plainly unprofessional. Arguably, it's transphobic, given that it could particularly affect trans people working with her. I think it was totally unnecessary.
Everything you've just said has just, like, it's almost given me a stroke. Like, honestly,
why
just melted my...
Here we have...
So stupid.
Here we have the Twitter mob, again, baying for blood, and they get it. And, you know, her employers here, you know, made a step aside. No, you're right, Dan, they've fired her. And not only have they fired her, they've entirely humiliated her and said she should properly educate herself, completely belittling her. This is people acquiescing to the Twitter mob. So this could happen to any of us, where the mob sets on you and that's you over. That's your career done. You're finished. This lady, I don't know whether she made a mistake or not. I think she probably shouldn't have been quite so vicious about it.
She didn't, though. It's her opinion.
She's just being honest.
Yeah.
She's been honest about what she feels, and why can't we do that? Why do we have to...
Oh, because we might scare off...
Benjamin, why do you want some type of scenario where you cannot criticise these new social trends that...
It's not even a trend, it's being forced upon us. It's not a trend.
You can still put your pronouns on the email if you want, but if someone wants to criticise it, they should not lose their job.
There's a profound contradiction in what Esther and you, Dan, are saying, because you're saying you should be free to express yourself as you wish, including your opinions.
I should be free to ignore you.
And yet, Esther, you're endorsing this woman with saying she would not engage at all with someone that...
Yes, because that's her choice. I would do that as well. Can I just go on record saying, if you put that in your email, I will 99.9% just ignore you.
But should she really... Do you really believe she should have lost her job over it?
No, I don't. I think she would have been better...
educated.
To be better educated about the question.
I'm
to maybe
sure
listen to some of her colleagues that might have been worried by it.
I'm sure she's properly educated about the question, but not to deal with it. But she has been fired for that.
Her colleagues would have been worried. Is she working with bags of sugar? What are they going to do, melt?
But Esther, if you...
Is she working in a confectionery?
Esther, why don't you let me speak? If you misgender someone by accident, or you refuse to acknowledge what they've told you they are in an email that they've sent you in a work context, then that is upsetting.
I will just ignore you.
Do you know how many genders there are?
Okay?
Do you know how many genders there are?
Well, I mean, there are many genders.
Do you know how many there are?
Well, I mean, there's...
I read today there are 76.
That's according to Facebook.
So what happens if somebody gets one of the 76 wrong? People, this is where we're at these days. 76 genders, for goodness sake.
You know, Esther sits there and she laughs.
Do you know what? Do you know? Well, you've been speaking. Do you know how many people transgenderism and people who identify
less than 1% of the global.
It is 1% of the US population, and yet we're all enthralled to them. We all have to change.
Benjamin, let Benjamin make his point.
Well, do you know what? I don't think, first of all, that just because someone is small in number, they don't deserve basic respect.
We didn't say that.
Now I'm going to finish my comment. What I don't accept either is that just because it's a strange concept, just because you've never thought about it, Esther, you would sit
I have thought about it and I choose to ignore it.
You sound like bosses.
Esther, you would sit there and rather laugh at people who are facing difficult realities in their lives, who are non-binary, so they don't identify as male or female.
Hold on. You can do what you want. You can do what you want. If I got an email, I'm sorry, you can do what you want. If I got an email in a professional setting, it's actually unprofessional for you to send me an email with your pronouns in it because I didn't ask. I didn't ask. I don't care. I could be talking to a zucchini and it wouldn't make a difference.
But you have to show your colleagues basic respect.
I will literally just ignore you.
If your colleague says they're called John and you call them Jenny, then that's
a name. You can change your name. If you choose to put your pronouns in your bio, of which I did not ask, I would just ignore you because in my head, you're just unserious as an individual. How can you be sending me a professional email with something serious in there?
Should all of
tell me your pronouns, which I didn't ask for
the numbers that account for about 1% of the population in this country?
Exactly.
Yes.
Should society have to change?
Well, I will not.
Basic
look, the fundamental point here is that if you want to put your pronouns on your email or your Twitter bio, it's a free world.
Ahead.
We
agree, because that's not what the woman said that you're defending.
If you don't want to be judged, then don't do it. I have a right as a human being to judge someone who's going to do that, and I would judge them as being overly woke, unnecessarily personal. I don't put my gender, my sexuality, anything like that in an email. I think it's completely unnecessary.
But you don't need to put your sexuality because no one's using that in their basic language.
Her job as a result of it is insane.